Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I want to talk about Arman Tsarukyan today. Who do you think that Arman should fight next? He just had an amazing performance against Damir Ismagulov, and I don't think that win is getting appreciated enough by Arman Tsarukyan. We need to look at that. It wasn't like he was just absolutely dominating the fight, but he was single-handedly winning that fight. It was very clear that Arman was winning that fight. I thought it was a clear 30-27 in my eyes, and he won pretty much every second of the fight, although it wasn't, again, a domination. He was just in control the whole time. You know what I mean? And I think that win is going way under the radar for MMA fans because honestly, I think if you take both Arman and Damir Ismagulov, if you throw them both into the top 5 or into a title fight right now, possibly, I don't know, Islam seems a little bit unbeatable at the moment. You know what I mean? But I mean, at least throw them in the top 5. I think they would have a solid chance in beating every single contender right there. I think they are that good. So for Arman to get a win in the way he did, just single-handedly, really putting on an amazing performance against Damir, I think that's going completely unnoticed. The guy is an amazing fighter, and he's just not a name, so casuals aren't talking about him. I went a little bit too much into there right now, but I was like, I'm just so excited for Arman right now. I'm so hyped up on him. He's finally getting the attention he deserves, and we're going to throw him into a big fight. He definitely deserves a big fight next, and a lot of people have been talking about 2 opponents for him. One being Michael Chandler. I'll touch on that more in just a second. And 2, Beneil Dariush. I do not like the Beneil Dariush fight. I think Beneil has done more than enough now to deserve a title fight. He is saying yes to everybody. He's taking on the contenders that nobody else wants to fight, especially in that lightweight division. I think for next, Beneil should be getting a #1 contenders fight, probably against Dustin Poirier, or a title fight in itself, the winner of Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev. So I think that is out of the question. I don't want to see Beneil fight Arman. He's taken on too many prospects, and honestly, I think Arman would beat him. So I don't want to see it. Anyways, the fight against Michael Chandler, I feel like that's the proper fight for Arman. Michael Chandler has been gifted a lot of fights, and don't get me wrong, he can beat anyone at any day, at any time. You know what I mean? You could throw him against Islam right now, and he have a shot at winning. Michael Chandler can beat anybody. He belongs at the top of the division. However, he's lost his fair share of fights. He beat Dan Hooker, and he beat a washed-up Tony Ferguson. He does not deserve to keep getting these top 5 fights. I think it's time for Michael Chandler to look towards the top 10, top 15 in the division, and I think this is Arman's chance because, again, nobody else is going to want to take these fights, and Michael Chandler might do it because he's a company man. He does what the UFC wants, so hopefully he would live up to that, which I'm pretty sure he would. I think he would take on that fight. Michael Chandler's a dog in himself. I think it's time for him to fight backwards a little bit and fight Arman Tsarukyan. And for that fight, I would still pick Arman because I truly believe that Arman is championship material as he is right now. He is such an underrated fighter. But Michael Chandler, again, like I said, he's so explosive. He can beat anybody, any day. So that's a fight that I would really look forward to. And one more possibility for him, which I feel like would be a little bit unfair, although I would still like to see the fight, is if you threw him against Charles Oliveira. Now, does he deserve a #1 contender fight? Probably not. However, again, like I said, I believe that he could win that fight. But then again, that's a little bit unfair to Charles, right? Just taking him, and I don't know what Arman's off the top of my head. He's probably about #9. Throwing Charles Oliveira after all he's done and all the fighters that he's taken against and solidified himself as a #1 contender, to give him #9, I don't think that's the right idea. But thinking about the matchup, they're both not paired up, and Arman, I don't know when he wants to fight again, but Charles Oliveira is having some time off right now. The matchup, the timeline for the matchup would line up pretty well in my opinion, but although I think Charles Oliveira has done enough to earn another fight at the title when he does return, I think that he should get, if Beneil doesn't, I think Charles should get the winner of Islam versus Volkanovski. I think that's right for him. And I think the proper matchup for Arman would just straight up to be Michael Chandler. I like what people are talking about there, but people, again, are also talking about Beneil Dariush, and I don't want to see that fight at all. But this is where I'll leave it up to you guys down below. I want to know what you think. Do you like the fight against Michael Chandler for Arman Tsarukyan? If not, who do you think he should take on next, guys? Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.